Warning, the thoughts and opinions expressed on the show are just that, our personal thoughts and opinions. While we do our best to discuss topics responsibly, some of the information shared is based on allegations, reports, or speculation and may not be fully factual. We encourage our listeners to do their own research and form their own conclusions. This podcast is for entertainment and informational purposes only, and nothing discussed here should be taken as legal, professional, or definitive advice.
My way of coping and grieving is not working, so I need to figure out a better way to do it.
To really have to look at yourself in the mirror and face all the shit inside of yourself. It's really hard.
I don't know. Mother's Day's coming up. I'm not looking forward to it.
And he's carrying this guitar, which plays a big, it's a big part of the movie.
The guitar?
The guitar that he's carrying. And you come to realize that blues plays such a big role in this movie. And at its face value, it kind of felt a little corny hearing that there was going to be twins. I don't know, kind of weird.
It's like the Hulk. You can't hold down the Hulk.
When you say you don't think 100 men can hold down a gorilla, you're talking about a couple of men trying to hold down a gorilla. If there's any strategy involved, the men should win.
Now, I think that we're in a new phase of our relationship just because my mom was forced to make changes. Yeah.
Her kids were already gone, ready to go. And that was supposed to be the time in her life where she, lived her life. And instead, she took on a 6-month-old and raised him, raised me as her own. And
yeah.
I don't know. This is a tough conversation for me to have. Yeah. I'm not good at this. I'm not good at talking about this stuff.
You did a lot.
I feel like there was family members that took advantage of my mom.
And we're back. Welcome, everybody, to the You Don't Say That podcast, episode 13. We're on 13, right?
Damn.
13?
I think so.
We made it to lucky number 13.
Lucky number 13.
Who would have thought?
Who would have thought?
Here we are. Lucky number 13. Well, thank you, everybody, for returning, all of our viewers. If you want to continue to follow us, or for any new viewers, you can catch us on YouTube, on Spotify, Apple Music. We post a lot of clips and reels on Instagram, a little bit on TikTok, and a little bit on X. Just depends. It's kind of hard to kind of get any traction on any of those apps, but I still post regardless, just because if someday somebody wants to go in there and see if they have it, they can always follow us there too. Some people prefer TikTok or whatever. We are a podcast that goes over culture, relationships, life struggles, and current events. Today, I am joined by the original four. I am joined by Saul. I am joined by Lindsay. Adrian's back. He's back from hiatus. Welcome, Adrian. And we're excited to kind of get back with you guys today.
The Fantastic Four.
Fantastic Four. I want to thank Daniela and Eddie. They've been awesome subs whenever we need them. I can't wait to get them back. But today, this is going to be us four. We're going to get comfortable and get back to it. We have a lot of exciting things to go over, a lot of fun stuff that's been going around the internet. Mm-hmm. I can't wait to get to it. But before I get to it, I just want to do a quick little check-in on everybody. And I know Sal's been on this fitness journey. I kind of want to ask him a little bit about how that's going.
I feel fucking great. I feel amazing. Part of it is the nicotine pouch that I just put in, but no.
3 times a day, 3 of them.
Yeah, so my regimen is I just stopped eating food, I cry a lot more, and I do these all the time now. No.
My God.
Honestly, I feel amazing. I'm down 13 pounds.
Awesome.
And I'm doing it the right way, which means I am eating very healthy. I don't want to say cut out alcohol, but since I've started, there's only been 3 days that I've drank alcohol. Nice. And 2 of those were not I just had a couple of drinks. One of them, Padre game. I got hammered.
That was enough for a month's worth.
Yeah.
No, but both of yous. Oh my God.
I'm going to the gym consistently. I'm running again. I haven't ran since we played basketball all the time.
You started running. This is different. You haven't done the running thing before,
never,
right? What made you, or what inspired you to pick up running?
One, because of the so the more when you run, you burn a lot of calories. When you burn more calories, you can eat more food. And we need food, right? For your energy, for good workouts, for a good sleep. So if you run more, you can eat more. But I also started running because I read a lot about how it helps the heart, or being in a certain heart rate range for a certain amount of time helps your VO2 max. People that have higher VO2 maxes are more likely to live longer, and it lowers all-cause mortality. But I would say the biggest thing for me, I've been going to the gym consistently. The biggest thing for me is the food that I'm eating. you don't realize how bad your body feels eating nothing but garbage because you stay eating garbage.
Right.
So you just become
Accustomed to it.
accustomed
Yeah.
or it's normal to just feel like you're in a sludge all day.
Yeah.
Right.
You cut the bullshit out and you start eating super clean and just drinking, water.
RO.
And oh my God, like your body, it's night and day. Like I feel phenomenal. Obviously your clothes fit better. That's great.
Yeah.
I have more energy for the most part. When you're in a caloric deficit, you're kind of like low energy levels too.
Are you pooping better?
Regular, 2 to 3 times a day, and they're
2
clean,
to 3 times a
and
day.
they're clean when you only have to wipe once, and then like it's clean. When you're eating terrible,
you can tell from the first wipe. Is it going to be a lot like 1 wipe or 20 wipes?
when I'm eating terrible,
Messy.
I go through a whole roll of toilet paper every shit. Like that's because it's just you keep wiping and the poop doesn't stop.
You need wet wipes, my friend.
I have those too.
Jump in the shower or something.
Right?
Yeah,
Like I just use
like,
I need a bidet. I need a bidet. No, I'm exaggerating. I don't use a whole roll,
I
but
got you.
Okay, like calm down, sir.
everything. I feel so much better. And so my goal is to do a 90-day cut. And it's a 90-day cut to lose 30 pounds. And I'm only like 5 weeks in and I'm already down 13 or 14 pounds.
Nice, man.
So I'm kind of ahead of the schedule, which is good. I'm doing it slowly because I don't want to when you lose weight, you're going to lose strength. That's just, there's no way around that. So I'm doing it very slow. So I mitigate the amount of strength that I lose. And I feel phenomenal. Like the running, we used to play basketball all the time when we were in high school and post high school. We'd go play 6 games for hours. I'm getting back to that feeling of like when you're done, and you know this because you used to run a lot. Runner's high is real.
Fuck yeah, it's
When you
real.
get done with the run, that euphoric feeling, if you could put that in a pill and give that to people, people will take that pill every day. And so, yeah, it's
it's real.
We literally just talked about this runner's high thing
No, it's real.
the other day, and I told him, I was like, this shit's not real because I've never once had like a runner's high.
I've never had runner's high, but I have gotten to points where I'm running and it doesn't feel like I need to stop and I can just keep going and I feel fine. I don't know if that's equivalent or if that's what that means, but
No, it's like a good feeling.
if
Especially
not,
when you
then
got
I
this in
haven't.
the
Then I
music,
haven't
like,
been high yet.
the runner's high for me, and I don't know, maybe for you too, it comes after the run's over. Like you're done with the run, right? And maybe you run 2-3 miles. I'm not running a whole lot because I'm slowly getting back into it. But when I'm done, I just feel so clear-minded. It makes me less stressed. I realized the other day I was driving after a run and some guy was driving like an idiot on the road and cut me off, right? And he cut me off and I didn't care at all.
Giving you like the dopamine.
I was
and
so calm. He cut me off and I was just like, oh, I hope he doesn't get into an accident. Like he's clearly in a hurry.
just unbothered.
Unbothered.
Yeah.
But where pre-run that guy cuts me off, I'm gonna speed up to go around him, maybe flip him the bird and say, what the fuck's
Slam
the
on
problem,
your
man?
brakes and
road rage, right? I don't care anymore. Like, I don't know.
So running made you a bitch.
Kinda.
Oh my God.
I'm playing. No, I get what you're saying.
No,
I
it's
get what you're saying.
it's
You're real
yeah.
liberal now.
I can't. I'm so far left. It's not even
Are
funny.
you leaning left?
I'm so far left. But no, in all reality, I feel phenomenal and I don't want to stop doing it. Like I'm gonna keep doing it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do the 5K.
And I was about to say, and you invited us to kind of join you on a run.
Yeah, so when me and Adrian lived together, he used to do 5Ks pretty regularly, and he always tried to get me to do them. And I'm like, I'm not doing no 5K. Like I'll go to the gym and stuff, and I always kind of just pawned it off, or I just pushed it to the side. I want to do I've never done a 5K, and I want to do a 5K now. And eventually, I want to work up to a half marathon, and then maybe even a full marathon. Baby steps, 5Ks first. And I think it'd be at the very least, if we did it together, it'd be a really cool experience.
Yeah, it'd be fun.
Maybe something we can, vlog so the audience can see us struggling. Cause I don't think I'm going to be able to run a 5K without stopping.
Right.
But who cares? Like just go do it, have fun, go grab some good
It
food
just
and
feels
beer
good to
after.
do it. Once you do it, like
It's an accomplishment. Like I did a 5K. But yeah, it's been going great.
That's awesome. Stay tuned for that.
Cool.
Yeah, I'll definitely join in on the training and leading up to whatever we decide to do.
Well, we did talk about doing like a boys or just everybody in general, like a weight loss thing. So maybe now let's start now. I tried doing a fast. It didn't work. I tried doing a 3-day water fast. Couldn't do it.
How far into the fast?
You got to ease into that, Papa.
Did it break?
That's what Jonathan was telling me. He's like, because I want to do a 7-day, and he's like, you don't realize how hard that is. He's like, try and do 3. And I was like, all right, I'll do 3.
Why not just a day? Did you do a day?
Yeah, start with
I did a
24 hour
day.
fast.
You were okay
I
with
did
a
a day, and then the next day I went to the gym. I signed up for the gym, the Chula gym right there. I went to work out, and I was like, yeah, I need food. Like I can't do this. So I didn't plan it out right, but I think I can do it.
Yeah.
But it has to be planned out right because I can't. Yeah, but yeah, I couldn't do it. Then the first time I said I was going to do it, so
Yeah, it's just
it's a lot. It's hard.
everything I'm doing is just it's made me have better mental clarity. It's made me feel better. Like just my bone, my joint, everything feels better. I don't know if anybody out there that's listening is struggling with their intimate, their intimate life or their sex life, but it helps in that area too. Like you have way more vitality.
So you don't need Blue Chew anymore.
Dude, no more Cialis, no more Viagra.
Wow.
It just stays. It just stays there.
Yeah.
So,
Your face is
for anybody who's having struggled, I never struggled in that area, but I can tell you that it's only enhanced that area.
It got bigger.
I go hard.
I wish. You know what they say?
She didn't have cardio.
You know what
Every
they say?
30 pounds.
I don't know if that's real,
don't know
but
if
they
it's
do
real.
say that every 30 pounds you lose, you gain an inch on your penis. I don't think that's real. I think what it is your stomach goes in and you could just see more of your dick, to be honest. But I can tell you that whether you gain size or not, you just have way more energy and like passion. And I don't know, it helps. It helps in every area.
All right. That sounds fun.
I'm going to say,
like
I don't
that.
think you've lost any passion.
No, but I could still lose some weight. So I'll take that,
I mean, we all could. So
Yeah.
we'll all be joining you on this journey, I think.
There you go. We got the commitment from everybody.
Yeah.
5K, here we come.
Yeah, we got these action cameras, and
Right.
vlog cameras.
Like
Right.
what Kyle says, we just put that on wax.
Like I said, I never really step on the scale. I think that I don't think it's healthy to necessarily worry so much about those numbers
No, it's
on the
not.
scale. But let's just say I had never seen that number before. And I was like, damn.
You talking about for you?
Yeah.
So I
for
only step
myself.
on the scale once, maybe twice a week, but it also is important. Like if you're going to get into this, you should track your progress. So you should take pictures.
Right.
I'm not saying you have to take pictures every day. I take pictures once a month. So I'm tracking what I look like every 30 days. And I do step on the scale once a week because you need to know what that number looks like to know if you're eating too many calories or you're not burning enough calories, just to kind of see where you're at. And yeah, it's been great.
That's awesome. Well, shit. I know it's super encouraging to hear other people comment on our videos or on our posts on Instagram. So if anyone's listening out there and can provide any positivity, motivation, or feedback for us that are going to be trying to take this on, I definitely welcome that. It definitely
yeah.
helps get me going. And I hope you guys do want to see that because I think that'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And all right, well, shit, that's awesome. And then Adrian's back, so I kind of want to. How you been, bro?
Dope shirt.
How's everything been since you've been gone?
Good.
Not too bad. How's the life of a businessman going? The Acru candles, how's that going? Anything
It's
new?
good. It's cool. It's I feel like I'm getting back into it. Had a meeting. No, it wasn't really like a meeting. I met up with my friend Terrence, who has the brand San Diego Native. If you've ever been to Foot Locker, you've seen the shirts, you've seen his brand. It blew up. So it's super dope. He opened up a store in on Alcohol Boulevard.
Nice.
I remember I invited you. I wanted you to go to the opening.
Yeah, that's flyer.
Busy area too.
Yeah, it's doing good for him. He has a lot of things planned that he wants to do, and he's basically trying to use it as like an open platform for all of his creative friends. So we're gonna do something there. Probably not necessarily collaborate on the candle, but he offered me he's like, hey, like you have a home now, like you can sell your candles here, which is pretty cool. We're gonna do something. I have some things that I want to do. Like I want to do a candle class where you can just come in and pour your own candles. I think it'd be pretty dope. But I want to do it in Chula Vista. I want to make like 10 or 15 spots available, and you basically come in, kind of like a paint, like a art, like a paint night.
sipping
Yeah.
paint. Yeah.
Yeah, something like that, where you come in, you pick your color, pick your scent, pick your mold, and then have it at a bar or brewery, and
Should we
then
do,
get somebody
like,
to DJ.
Keg stand instead of sipping wine.
We can. If they offer a cake stand, I'm sure we can get somewhere to allow us
We
to
can
do a
get
cake
that.
stand.
Sign me up for a spot, please.
Yeah, I'm in.
But like,
Keg stand.
That's a
and
celebration
candle.
night.
yeah. Something like that. I have a lot of ideas. It's just the way my brain works. I'm not good at. I have thousands of ideas, but I can't. I'll try to do all of them at once, and then I just not end up doing none of them. So I'm trying to slow myself down and get the creative stuff out again.
Right.
Work kind of like took over my life for like 2 months. It was fucking insane.
Right.
But that project is done. Like everything is good now with that. We're got everybody converted over to Windows 10. And for the IT nerds that listen, yeah, we went from Windows 10 to Windows 11.
Ooh,
And
you just made them all hard.
it was just converting
Corn for the
everybody
ears.
from 10 to 11. It was just a lot because a lot of the people that just don't really know. You'd be surprised how many like executives and people high up don't really know what they're doing with computers, which is job security for us.
Yeah, I believe that.
But yeah, I mean, work has been, it was overwhelming, but I also started therapy a couple weeks ago, and I've been going to therapy every week. I think I'm like 6 sessions in now. I mean, I talked about it here after the boys pod. I went straight to therapy.
Damn.
And
Is that what we did to you?
No, you guys didn't do nothing to me. I did that to myself, and that was my yeah, it was like my okay. I need to get my shit like together.
Your
I
rock
need to go.
bottom kind of thing.
Yeah, I felt like that. I was like, yeah, I need to. My way of coping and grieving is not working, so I need to figure out a better way to do it. And yeah, it's been good. She's making me feel shit I don't want to feel, but
You feel better?
no, not yet.
Okay.
I
At least you're honest. I mean,
Yeah, like
that's-
I see what she wants. me to
Therapy's
do.
really fucking hard.
It's hard.
Yeah.
It is the hardest. Like
To
I don't
like
know.
really have to like look at yourself like in the mirror and like face all the shit inside of yourself. It's really hard to like have to like actually dig into yourself and like commit to therapy. It's hard.
It's hard because she's even told me, she's like, Adrian, do you want the help or do you just want me to tell you what to do? Because you also have to do the work. And I'm like, because she tells me, she's like, all right, I need you to journal this week. And then I just won't journal because I got other stuff going on. And she's like, I'm giving you the tools, but you're not doing them. Like, do you want to heal or not? And I was like, all right, yeah, I need to
Call
I
you
need-
out on your
She
shit.
calls me out on my, which is
Yeah.
great. Like, I need that. Like, I need you need to be held accountable. If you want, I want to make these changes, and she's there to hold me accountable. But yeah, it's I don't know. Mother's Day's coming up. I'm not looking forward to it. It's just I don't know, man. I know that when people lose parents, that they're like some people they turn to drugs, and they turn to alcohol, and it fucks people up sometimes. Or they lose a sibling, or they lose that person. And like I lost that person. Like my mom was my fucking everything, and I just numbed myself for like 2 years, and I'm trying to get better, and I am, but
It's not easy.
it's not easy. And it's not easy because I'm not taking the easy route anymore. I'm not drinking. Drinking for me was my way out of everything. If I'm stressed, if I'm dealing with shit, I'm just gonna go drink. We're gonna get fucked up. I'll forget about it. And that's just me numbing myself. But me actively trying to like, I don't want to do that. I want to do it the right way, or my way wasn't working. Like, let me take somebody else's who knows what they're doing and knows what they're giving me good advice. I mean, it's still hard. So I don't necessarily say I feel better, but I don't feel worse.
That's good.
It's a work in progress.
And you're trying.
I'm trying. I'm definitely trying. Yeah, aside from that, work has been good. Candle's been good. Trying a couple things with some t-shirts. This shirt, I just love the feeling of like having an idea and bringing it to life.
Creating, yeah.
So like I had this idea for making these t-shirts with like vintage basketball cards from when we were kids and taking that artwork and put it on t-shirts. So that's what I did with the Kobe shirt.
So what's on the Kobe shirt? What you told me about is pretty dope. I would have
Yeah,
never
that's a-
been able to
that's a
notice
dope
it
shirt.
until you pointed out. But
Yeah,
what do you got
that's
on there?
97 Fleer Metal Universe graphic is one. It's basically Kobe shooting over the Death Star.
Star
But
Wars.
it was excuse me. It was just a dope timing cards, and like they have a really dope ass Michael Jordan card where he's like him and Penny Hardaway did the same graphic. Like the basketball's a flame, like a flaming ball. It's just really dope. If you collected cards as a kid, you would know that graphic right away. And that's what I like doing. I like making shit that you feel a certain way when you get it. Like, it invokes a feeling. Like, I don't want to just make something that is, I mean, everybody's doing Kobe shirts, but I want my shit to be different. So
Yeah.
I want to invoke a feeling of like, oh shit, I had that card when I was a kid. Like,
Right.
now there's a shirt on it. Like, no one's done this before. So And I don't know that not dating. I realize I'm not
On purpose or just
on purpose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard to focus on working on yourself and having a relationship.
Yeah. I mean,
Like,
even just like fucking, like I'm not even trying to fuck right now. I don't need to be doing this shit right now. I need to really focus on myself. And
hey, good job recognizing that though. Hey, but I mean, I feel like that's better than like just being used for getting your rocks off.
I mean,
and then
yeah,
just,
I've done that in the past. I've definitely like just had sex with women that I was just, that's just what it is. I just need to get that
Right.
urge out. And then it wasn't going to lead to nothing. So why am I even doing this?
Right.
Why am I here? It's not going to go nowhere. So I'm not talking to nobody. I am just by myself and my cat, which sounds depressing as fuck. But it's
Bulma.
yeah, shout out Bulma. But it's just me focused
Hey,
on.
she
on,
stopped scratching you up, so that's
did.
good.
She scarred me right here, and right here.
She's
Part of the group now.
She's grown, huh?
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, just like focused on my mental. I wanted to take my health a lot more serious. And just trying to be creative again. Like just trying to be creative because that is the number one thing for me that feels, aside from being a dad, like being creative is I mean, you could relate, like you have fun doing the things that you're doing, right? Like
Yeah. I have a hard time because that wasn't something that I was in a routine of doing or feeling or allowing myself to kind of feel.
yeah.
So doing the podcast kind of gives you a little bit of freedom to kind of put
Yeah.
creativity and personality on a video. How you find something funny and then trying to portray that
Yeah.
in a reel or whatever. But I mean, the reel is probably the most prevalent way for me to feel creative right now. But
Yeah.
overall, just kind of visioning something and then
Having that idea and bringing it to life is just a great
it is
feeling.
really fun.
Yeah.
I do like that a lot, and I appreciate hearing you and all of your ventures with your creativity and trying to kind of bring all these things. It's clear you have a lot of ideas. You're just trying to find your groove on execution now.
Yeah.
And that I think goes hand in hand with creative people. They're very creative, but they lack structure.
Yeah. That's my biggest thing.
So a lot of times the most creative people have a money guy, the guy that makes sure everything is like in order.
The square to go with their creative.
It's usually a team of the creative and then the finance person, and together they make the perfect team.
Yeah.
I mean, just nerdy Disney shit, but Walt Disney was the creative, and he had a guy named Frank Wells who was the money guy.
Yeah.
Walt wanted to do Disneyland. Perfect. Well, you only have this much money. You
Yeah.
can't buy all this shit. And then come opening day, they did fall short, right? Concrete wasn't fully formed. People's shoes were leaving imprint on the floor.
Yeah.
There wasn't enough restrooms, so people were peeing on like corners. There wasn't enough trash cans. So it's all part of, I think, being a creative person, that you don't always have the you need the logistical guy.
Yeah. Like Steve Jobs had Steve Wozniak.
Exactly.
Like you
There
need
go.
that. You need that balance.
Right. So that's awesome that you're I guess you're trying to be consistent and
Yeah. Trying to be that creative person and create the shit that I know I can create and get back to myself.
yeah. That's so funny.
I was gonna say like Trump has Elon.
Oh my god.
But
Couldn't help yourself.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Not again.
Not again.
anywho.
We got Mother's Day coming up. I know you have like your own thing about it, but what
Well, yeah, I mean, Mother's Day, my mom's birthday is also on May 10th. So,
yeah, Mexican Mother's Day is your mom's
yeah,
birthday.
Mexican Mother's Day is also May 10th. My mom's birthday is May 10th. Mother's Day is usually right around May
10th.
May 10th.
Usually.
Yeah. And so, I mean, it's really not a day just for myself, you know. Also have to include your mom and my mom. So, I mean, I appreciate the attention and the love, you know, but it's another day. So, I mean, I feel appreciated pretty often, but it is nice to like, you know, get a present or
Yeah.
the acknowledgement. But my friends and I, two of my girlfriends and I, we have a trip planned for the week after Mother's Day.
Got
So
Sisters of the Traveling Pants coming.
yeah, that's a kind of our Mother's Day gifts to ourselves.
Is that Palm Springs trip or something?
Yeah, Palm Springs.
Moo-moos?
Yep, I got the moo-moos already.
Yeah, the dashikis.
Yeah, we're gonna do moo-moos and margaritas and just hang out. And my friend is flying from Colorado, and then we're driving from San Diego to Palm Springs.
That's awesome.
So we'll have a good time. Probably eat some good food and just
Talk a
chill
lot of
out.
shit, right?
Yeah,
That's
talk a
girls
lot
do,
of
you know?
shit. I don't know about that, but yeah, right. We talk a lot of shit. I mean, you know me. I talk a lot of shit. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it'll be good to just not have to worry about wiping asses or, chicken nuggets or anything. So
What was it? Last weekend, I've been obsessed with we went to the movies. I haven't been to the movies in
oh yeah,
a long time. I don't know if I want to say years, but if it's felt like years.
no, it's been years.
Years,
since-
okay.
Yeah.
So
That's crazy.
I think the
You're a
last
movie
time-
guy.
I love.
I
movies.
think the last time we went to the movies was to see Super Mario Brothers with the kids.
That makes sense.
a good movie.
Okay. So I kept hearing about this movie. I don't know if I'm sure everyone's at least heard about it already. Sinners, and I hit up Saul and asked him if he would like to join me and Lindsay. Me and her were gonna go check out the movie, and I figured it would be something that he might like or appreciate. So I figured he'd be down to go, and he came. And we went, we saw the movie, and before I give my thoughts on it, what did you guys think of the movie? What would you rank it at, like out of 10? It's alright, beyond. I mean,
I'd say like a 7.
okay,
Yeah.
Why would you give it a 7?
I think that there were things that were very just like didn't seem to tie in together.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Parts that were brought up that just didn't seem to like come full circle.
What do you think, Sal? How would you rate it?
I'd give it an 8 out of 10.
8? Okay.
Yeah, maybe an 8.5. I didn't know what to expect. I had no idea what the movie was about.
Did you hear about it before I brought it?
Nope.
Up? Okay.
So I didn't hear about
Half
it.
the movie
That's
was
awesome.
over your head.
Yeah,
Perfect.
I didn't hear about it.
I think that's good though. Sometimes.
I didn't
That's a good
hear
way to watch
about
a
it
movie.
Yeah.
until you told me, and then I meant to watch a trailer and Google it, but I never got around to doing that. So I went into the movie completely blind. I thought the acting was really good. I thought that the story and the way they filmed it was really good. There was a couple of plot twists that I didn't know anything about the movie. There's a couple of plot twists that threw me off.
Like what?
Well, I don't want to
No, go ahead.
spoil it for anybody,
Go
but
ahead. Oh, just if you guys don't want to hear it, if there's a spoiler, you guys don't want to hear it.
Yeah.
On Adrian.
Well,
I'm
hold
gonna
on.
watch it. I haven't seen it yet, but I don't care about spoilers.
I didn't know that there was vampires in the movie.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah.
I knew that it's a vampire.
I didn't know that. And I didn't
Not
know
everybody-
anything going into it.
Right. And not everybody even knew it was a vampire movie. I don't even think that was
I didn't know it was a vampire.
that wasn't
movie.
really communicated before
Yeah.
the movie actually dropped.
Yeah.
But go ahead before
I thought it was an action movie, and then when we were on the way to the theater, you looked up the genre and it said horror and adventure, and I'm like, okay, well that's completely different than I thought. I thought it was action. But that plot twist threw me off. But I also kind of liked it. There was one scene that really, really gave me the heebie-jeebies
What was that?
when when the white dude, they're vampires and they're outside. I don't want to give away too much, but they're outside of a house. They're trying to get to the people inside this farm or whatever, or I don't know what the barn, and they're singing some song, and they're white people all dance. Well, there's black people there too, but they're dancing Irish dances.
Oh, is this okay? This is when they've turned.
Yeah,
a
the
few of
leader. There's a whole group of them, and the
Yeah.
leader's doing all these crazy Irish step
I love
dancing.
that part.
I thought that part was. It wasn't scary in the sense of, oh my god, I jumped.
Yeah.
It was scary seeing it because they looked like a bunch of psychopaths, but I
Yeah.
also liked it
Yeah.
because it was very different. And I just thought to myself, it would be an Irish white guy to do some crazy shit. Like he that person, I don't know what the actor's name is, but he played a perfect psycho head vampire.
Yeah.
I mean, that scene really sticks in my head after watching the movie. I also like the scene when they're dancing inside the barn and they're incorporating different music from different eras.
That's like everyone's calling that the scene.
Yeah.
Everyone knows the scene
That was
in the movie.
transcendent.
Yeah.
Like it takes you all the way back to hunter-gatherer days to Run DMC. But they
Right.
tie it all back into music. I thought that was really cool. So again, that goes back to I thought the storyline was really good. But overall I thought it was a really, like, if you would have told me it was that type of movie, I would have told you it's not really my cup of tea.
Yeah.
But I thought it was really, really well done.
Right. Well, for me, I think I would probably rate it like maybe 8.5, 9. I really enjoyed the music in this. And on top of that, I love the vampire twist, the horror aspect of it, right up my alley. Something I'm definitely a fanboy about. And I loved a lot of this was like a buildup from seeing interviews of the director, Ryan Coogler, seeing him in his interviews and just kind of, he feels so relatable. He's from, what is it? Oakland or somewhere up there from the Bay. He sounds almost like Marshawn Lynch when you hear him talk on his interviews. Like he's very articulate, very polished, but he has that like twang to his like
The way he speaks.
accent. He just sounds like he's from the Bay, and I loved that. He's not trying to fit in to a space that's like maybe other people aren't like him. He's kind of creating his own lane. At least that's how I felt. So seeing that and then hearing him break down like the way he filmed it. You spoke to that, the way it was filmed. He filmed it for IMAX, but the different kind of films that he used for I guess for documenting this movie, he has a mixture of different film strips. So when you watch the movie, you'll see certain parts of the movie that open up in IMAX form, and that almost signals to you that there's something like really big going on, and you probably don't even realize it. You just feel like, oh my God, I feel like I'm in this moment. Yeah. But it was intentional. All those scenes were filmed that way, and then otherwise they were filmed on the I don't know where you got the cinematic bars on the top where it kind of shrinks the screen. Most of the movie was filmed like that, and I appreciated even like that thought of him even trying to tell story even like that. I enjoyed Michael B. Jordan's performance in that, trying to play twins, Stack and Smoke. I felt that at its face value, it kind of felt a little corny hearing that there was going to be twins. Like, I don't know, kind of weird. But watching them, they almost did feel like two separate people on screen, which was kind of awesome to kind of
way different personalities.
Right.
Same actor.
Same
crazy.
actor, but it came off on screen as two different personalities. The other main character, Sammy, what was his name? Is that his name? Sammy?
Yeah, Sammy.
Sammy, the preacher boy.
Preacher boy.
Awesome in that movie. Like, I love the opening scene of him walking into the church and him covered in the blood, and his father's the preacher. And it kind of like gives a little bit of a foreshadowing on what he experienced from the night before. And he's carrying this guitar, which plays a big, like, it's a big part of the movie.
The guitar?
The guitar that he's carrying. And you come to realize that blues plays such a big role in this movie. And the music was like, the score of this thing, the soundtrack, awesome. Like, the kid really can sing. I guess he was a backup singer or a background singer for, what's her name? Her?
Her, yeah, and her.
Her? She actually recommended him for this role in this movie. And he ended up getting the role, and that's his real voice that sang in that movie.
Amazing voice.
The guy killed it. That scene that you're talking about where he's actually playing in front of everybody in this, it's a barn on the outside, but it's turns out to be like a killing floor for all these people, for the vampires. They get set up. Sorry for spoilers if anybody is skip ahead to the point where I say spoilers, whatever. But it turns out to be a killing floor. But while he's playing for everybody there, you kind of can see how his music is transcending time, and they play that, and they actually do that on screen where they're playing in front of these people from the movie. But then next thing you know, you start seeing I guess, what would you call them, like African tribe music, and then you'd hear gangster rap, and it's almost like different eras in black music.
electric guitar.
And at first, it just shocks you because there's nothing in the movie that's done that up until that point. And you start seeing it and playing it out, and you see a DJ all of a sudden right next to him, and you start seeing like break dancers, and you start seeing gangster rappers, and the way that they did that, I thought that was so dope. That scene has been like,
Yeah.
I keep hearing it, and I keep like seeing the visuals. I just thought it was a super like dope, like it imprinted.
Yeah.
I guess I really felt that scene. It felt really cool, and as someone that like thinks about like I'm barely one minuscule piece of like trying to think about how people tell stories on camera. I just really appreciated the way Ryan Coogler did that. And then for reference, he's been the director for Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, Creed
2,
to pretty much almost exclusively with Michael B. Jordan, right?
Fruitvale Station.
That
was their first movie together.
Michael B. Jordan and him have created this tandem together, and it's super dope that he even does that. I think
they grew up together.
I appreciate that he's even doing that. That he's attaching himself to an actor, and he's kind of like they're kind of together, like ascending through Hollywood.
Well, his deal with this movie's never been done before either.
Oh yeah, talk about that.
He gets the rights to the movie in 20 years.
Right, and
it's never been done before.
Right. So I hear if it has been done, very exclusive. Not it's like
George Lucas or something.
Right.
Like that. One person.
Right. So I want to say Warner Brothers has the right to those movies up until 20 or 25 years. Then all of that trademark, because it's an original story.
Yeah.
Nothing. This is from begin. So that's probably why there's so many loose ends to the story, because it's totally written and filmed all by him.
Yeah.
Because there are stuff that I walked away from kind of feeling like, damn, there was some loose ends to that. Like one that stood out to me was how the vampires wanted Sam Preacher Boy's voice or whatever. They wanted to turn him. To me, that really wasn't teased out enough. Like that kind of left a little bit of a hole as to like why or how or you know.
Yeah, he insinuated, the head vampire insinuated that he needed his voice to bring him back to something or to get to I don't know.
And to me, I just didn't feel like they really like went backstory enough into that, which is fine. Maybe that opens up prequels or sequels. But overall, between the music, the acting, the director, and his style of cinematography, I really enjoyed it. And just knowing that it's an original story. And I one of my favorites is Dusk Till Dawn. And that's a vampire movie, you know, with George Clooney and Tarantino and Salma Hayek. Same thing. You go into the movie as one thing, and then next thing you know, boom, vampires appear. Yeah. And that's essentially the way that this movie unfolds in front of like all of us. So highly recommend for anybody to go check it out. It's different. It's not the same sequel type shit you see in Hollywood all the time. I definitely think it's worth going out and then seeing it on IMAX. Just the size of the screen, the surround sound of the people walking in the streets, and they actually played like they did it really well. Like I felt like overall great movie. It's a strong movie.
I wanted to see it. Me and Julian been talking about going to watch it.
Yeah,
we just haven't gone to watch it yet. But yeah, I definitely do want to see Sinners, and I heard nothing but good things about it. So.
Right? Yeah, it's definitely worth a watch.
I didn't know anything about Ryan Coogler before the movie, but after the movie was done and we were walking out, Mikhail started telling me a little bit about his personality and his background. Yeah. And then once he told me that, you can see it come through. He came through in that film.
It's so good. Yeah, anything he does, I'm gonna go.
And
see.
like you said, he wasn't trying to be in a space that already exists. He was trying to create his own space and his own lane, and you really saw that. The movie was very different, different than your prototypical movie that you see. That was pretty cool. After you walking out, and he was telling me that, I'm like, oh, that makes a lot of sense.
Even the part with the what would you call them, the Asian merchants and their role in the movie, and it just, I don't know, history just ties down to that in so many ways, with Asian people supporting Black people and just kind of them together in this community, and they have to help each other out, and they portray that in the movie. Like it was just very like historically, I guess, kind of
intentional. Everything he does is like there's purpose behind it. There's a reason. It's intentional. It's great storytelling.
Even that old head that played the harmonica.
Oh yeah, he was so
good.
Man,
that guy was so powerful tying into the blues.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like you felt the soul
Right.
when he played that harmonica. And I'm sure I don't know if that's what he was trying to do, but if he was, he nailed it.
And make sure to stay for the end credits. And it was so dope that Coogler did that. I'm sure like there's a Marvel tie, like with him doing Black Panther, he's used to doing end scene credits. So for him to include that in this sort of movie, right? You used to you expect them in Marvel movies, but to have one in this, it was a really dope end scene. I guess that guy that they used to play the old preacher boy, I think he's a real blues player. What's his name? Buddy Guy or some shit like that.
Isn't he based out of New Orleans?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I know the movie was set in Mississippi, but it was actually filmed in New Orleans. So it felt like that a lot of times, like when they were outside, especially that pissing scene, like where that guy goes to take a piss. And it felt like he was like in some like bayou area, just the way you got the lightning bugs and all that going around. Like
You were correct, Buddy Guy.
Okay, so a real blues guy, and it's kind of cool that it kind of almost gives this eternal life feel to these people that you see them when they're younger, fast forward to when they're older, and then it was super dope that vampire live eternally when they come in at the end.
They looked better than they did 50 years ago,
right?
And I thought for sure that dude was dead.
Right.
The fact that they kept their word, I'm like, what?
I even appreciated the even though they turned into vampires, Michael B. Jordan, what's her name, Haley Steinfeld, that comment that he leaves at the end in terms of like, I would kill you, but I promised my brother I'd let you see your full life, and that almost gives him a little bit of like, yeah, he's technically like the bad guy, the vampire, but there's still like some heart, like there's still some like, I don't know, good to them. You know what I mean?
That's what threw me off.
Right.
Because I thought when they walked in, this guy's about to get his neck just taken.
Yeah.
And then he said that, I'm all, they have some type of morality?
Or even Preacher Boy asked him, is there anything that you miss about, like, I don't know if he said about the old days or before turning a vampire. And it was so dope just the way he was just like, he's like, yeah, I miss the sun. And, it was a comment about, your music's good, the electro stuff's good, but I miss the original, the original guitar playing that you used to do.
Yeah. It was pretty wild when he leaned in and smelled him and told him it's not much. Hey, you know what? Let me finish. That out of context, that sounded bad. Let me finish my statement. It was dope.
I'm an ally, bro.
It was dope when he leaned in and smelled him and told him it ain't much longer.
Oh,
like,
how much longer
he has longer to live. He could because they're vampires. He could smell that he's dying. He's on his way out, and he was like, "Yeah, it's not that much longer." I'm all, dude.
Yeah, and he asked him, "Do you want to turn?
Yeah,
you can play forever, make more money than you can ever
You know what we should have said? What's her name? Heidi Seinfeld.
Yeah.
Haley
Seinfeld. He should have said, "If she sucks me, I'm turning right now."
That's the deal.
That would have been a mic drop. Mic drop.
You wouldn't have to bust on the drapes with her.
No, definitely not. I'm trying to
inside.
Well, if she's a vampire, you can't
Shoot
impregnate
up
her.
the club with that one.
Man,
You shoot
Vampires
up
can't
the
Vampires can't
you
get
Shannon
pregnant.
Sharp
Right.
that one.
Yeah, you should.
Oh,
That's a good segue. Hold on, before I get there,
Because you're dead. You can't.
Oh.
Yeah.
the ending to me was
never
perfect.
age.
When they asked him if you want to turn, he says, "No, I think I've seen enough of this place," and they just kind of walk out. And I just thought that was just like, there's so many different interpretations people can take on that end scene or just throughout the whole movie. So I love stuff like that,
what they were wearing was dope too.
The Coogee sweater.
Yeah, that loud sweater. He had the stack. What I don't even know what you call that.
Four-finger ring.
Yeah,
or whatever.
four-finger ring.
And
That was dope.
Right, all of it. Even
She had the bamboo hoops.
Yeah, even
Yeah.
her outfit was sick.
Yeah.
Like perfect 90s era clothing.
The sunglasses.
Yeah. So all in all, good movie. I'm sure a lot of you guys have already checked it out, but if you haven't, do it in IMAX. I think it's worth it. If you're gonna go, just go see it in the way it's intended to be viewed.
Yeah, you
So,
gotta watch it in IMAX.
Yeah.
I didn't even catch that thing Makai was talking about with the screen getting bigger or smaller. But when we walked out, before he said that, I told him for some reason there were scenes that felt very cinematic.
Yeah.
I didn't know that's why.
Yeah.
I didn't catch that. completely went over my head.
Yeah.
But he's all, well, the reason why I felt cinematic is because the screen was getting enlarged for certain scenes, and I'm like, I didn't catch that.
And there was a part with the surround sound, right? There was you turned around like someone said something.
Did you
to
see me? I was pissed.
I did, but it was at the same time she said something about it too.
Yeah.
And I was just like,
Me and Lindsay got pissed in the theater because we thought somebody was talking really loud in the top right. And I looked and he saw me look. And then I guess I didn't hear her, but she said something to
me.
Mikhail.
Yeah.
I thought there was mad disrespectful people in the top right talking. It was a surround sound.
it was a surround sound.
I was getting ready. Like, shut the hell up. We're trying to enjoy the movie. And that's how good the IMAX surround sound was.
Yeah.
Casey.
Yeah. Awesome movie. But all right, let me see. You mentioned something with our boy. Next thing we had going around the internet. I want to get your guys' take on it. For some fucking reason, this debate between 100 men versus one gorilla.
Silverback gorilla.
Okay, one silverback gorilla has been going around the internet like fucking crazy. Everybody's been weighing in on it. I'm curious. I have my thoughts on where I stand on this debate. Whether 100 men can kill one gorilla, no weapons, just if head on. If there was 100 men on one end and a gorilla on the other, who would win? Let me ask you. You're thinking pretty hard. Where would you land, Lindsay, on that debate if you had to choose 100 men versus one gorilla?
Well, I think overwhelming number of men easily means that like
Can I
100.
provide stats really quick?
What was this through it? Wasn't this through an AI generator or something?
No.
Wasn't this a simulation that they did?
I think it originated from a post on Twitter or X.
Probably read it.
But wasn't it a simulation that they put?
Someone did do it
Okay.
after that to kind of play it. But to me, that was like a very like not realistic. All the people were the same height, same weight.
They all came at different times.
Doesn't show any real like skill level of
Yeah.
anybody. But
Yeah, because to me, like if it's one gorilla just standing there and then 100 men come up and surround the gorilla and the 100 men are just, holding the
whatever they
gorilla.
can.
Yeah.
Well, let me provide a couple little factoids about silverbacks just to kind of see where they land in this matchup.
Super strong.
A silverback gorilla can deadlift 2,000 to 5,000 pounds. Okay, that's equivalent of lifting a small car. No gym, no warm up. That's just raw power. Okay, another one. Grip strength can crush a crocodile skull.
Is this real?
Yeah, why not? With over 1,300 pounds of force. I mean, I believe that's real, right?
I'm just like the 2,000 to 5,000 pound thing.
Of their strength.
Yeah.
Oh, I
that's
believe
real.
that.
I mean,
There's men that could deadlift 1,100 pounds. It's very rare, but
And those are almost like PRs. Like they're almost like those are
Those are
almost
the
like,
world's
those are
strongest men,
records.
guys.
Those are like almost records.
that's Thor and Brian Shaw.
Right. They can pick up a 200-pound object, throw it 30 feet.
That's
A
crazy.
gorilla's gonna wash 100 men.
I don't think so.
100%.
They can bench press.
There's no way.
They can bench press 1,800 to 4,000 pounds.
Can a gorilla pick a man up and rip him in half?
Oh
Easily,
yeah, the
yeah.
first person who
The first person goes up.
The first person
well,
who
that's
know
what
people
I'm
are gonna
saying.
get
Like,
their ass whooped
if
with, like,
gorillas really can do that, then like, how are they like sitting in the zoo and not like?
Well, I bet you a lot of times we tranquilize them, right?
Yeah.
Like we use tools. Like I think man is more known for their tools and their thinking, and we're able to like have consciousness and like create and do things that gorillas can't.
Like
So-
Shamu's a killer. The orcas, they're killers. They're killing
Almost-
machines.
Yeah,
that's
no,
why
I
They
know
make
that.
them to be
the
like
most deadly predator in the world.
right,
And
but
we
they make
them
them
our
to be
bitch.
friendly.
They kill-
Yeah,
And
they
we
kill-
make them our bitch.
They kill sharks.
That's what they do.
They kill sharks.
what they do
Like
to
they're
gorillas.
savages.
And they go do shows for us.
Yeah.
That's where we are on this fucking.
Yeah, and then they fucking eat the people that made them do shows. Like,
Sometimes,
Fucking
sometimes
That's
we might-
happened.
well, and that's why they don't
Silverback
get in the
gorilla?
water with them anymore.
We might
There's
lose
no
a
way
couple
100
good men.
Well, and now it's come to the point now where they don't even they're phasing out the whales.
Sure.
Yeah. Anywho,
Well, the way I think about it with the gorilla thing, if there's 100 people that are trained a certain way, statured a certain way, I think that with the right strategy, I think that they
like
can.
100 Navy SEALs for sure.
But
I don't think it has to be Navy
Everybody,
SEALs.
everybody has a plan until you get hit in the face, right? And that's what Mike Tyson said. There's no way 100
think
men
about
are
this.
beating
Gorillas-
a silverback gorilla.
downside of a gorilla, horrible cardio.
Right.
Saying. Just saying.
Yeah.
Right? So you rip a couple people apart. How many of them until you get tired? 100 of anything. Do 100 of anything. You get tired.
I don't know how many. He can just backhand like 5 people at a time. He's gonna tear through the crowd. Like I don't think 100 men can hold down. It's like the Hulk. You can't hold down the
Well,
Hulk.
when you say you don't think 100 men can hold down a gorilla, you're talking about a couple of men trying to hold down a gorilla. If there's any strategy involved, the men should win, the 100 men, because yes, the first couple of people that go in are just going to get destroyed. Like maybe the first 10 or 15, even 20.
Right.
But the gorilla is going to tire, right? And I think you still have enough men. If you look at those numbers, right? We're not talking about a bunch of Brian Shaws that can bench press 500 pounds, can deadlift 1,000, can squats 800. We're not talking about that. We're talking about regular men. However, a regular man can bench press what? 180 to 250 pounds, a regular man. So you only need 10 of those to equate the same number of bench press.
That don't
That's
mean
only
nothing
10
when you're
men.
staring at a fucking
That's only 10
silverback
men.
gorilla.
We're not counting.
That is 9 feet
We're not
tall.
counting the other 90. I honestly think if there's any type of strategy,
Okay, how do we let's put together a strategy?
I found one.
How do we do this?
Let me share a strategy.
All right.
Have you guys ever heard of Van Lathan?
Yes.
Okay, Van Lathan shared a post of how he would strategize this gorilla attack, right? So he has them.
This is wild. How he would strategize.
He has them broken down in waves, people attacking in waves.
Okay.
Okay. So
Seems like a good strategy.
the first waves are labeled as meat sacks.
yeah,
Okay, yeah.
that's what they are.
Okay.
Yeah.
But these are people consisting of 300 pounds and over. The Vince Wilforks, these heavy defensive linemen, offensive linemen
Tire 'em
type,
out.
right? The second wave, we have runners, athletic runners. Okay. He has Noah Lyles, and apparently this is more so for disorientation, more for like running, scrambling,
Trying to confuse the gorilla.
The gorilla's gonna grab one of them
confusing
and
the
just
gorilla.
beat the shit up with another
Potentially. But then you have coming up next the light brutes, the third wave. Okay. And these are guys named, this guy's name, Philip Rowe. I'm assuming he's an MMA guy because it has arm bars and kicking. So now you got guys that are a little bit heavier, maybe 200 pounds plus, whatever. And now they hit pretty hard, but they're not the heaviest of the heavy.
Yeah.
Right. Followed up by the fourth wave, heavy brutes, Aaron Donalds, right? The fucking like
the big guy.
big roided out, athletic.
That dude bench presses
freaks.
500 pounds.
He's almost a gorilla in his damn self. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So if you got a handful of those, right? And then we have the finishers, which he labels as John Jones. What does he call them? What do you call them? The people that wrestle with the bears, the not Ukrainians, but the
Russians?
the Dagestani.
Dagestani,
Those
like
dudes are
these guys
savages.
that wrestle bears for their training, wrestling training on a regular basis in those countries far, far away, right? And in parentheses, he does kind of say like asterisk, some will die.
A lot,
50% will die.
at least.
Right.
30% paralyzed.
But we're talking
Comas.
about even at the end, if 99 men die and one guy's alive, and they defeat
One. Yeah.
the 100 men win.
I mean,
Not
you're-
fully intact, but they
There's-
win.
I'm sure maybe while some have some sort of chokehold, other people are hanging onto the arms and the legs. Maybe someone's trying to rip out some eyes.
So
or
what
something.
you said?
You know what I
you
mean?
said
Like,
the gorilla can bench press 2,000 or 1,500 to 4,000 pounds.
yeah.
So let's go on the high end and say 4,000 pounds. A 200-pound man. How many 200-pound men do you have to be more than 4,000 pounds? You still have 80 more to go. I just think the
one rep,
sheer
though.
numbers. That's true. That's true. You might just 20 dudes at once. Boom. Where's the next 20? Boom.
We're underestimating how strong these fucking gorillas
No,
are.
I'm not underestimating how strong. I just think
we got to assume they got hands too. We don't
Yeah.
know if gorilla got hands like that. They're not necessarily shadow
I
boxing.
bet you they're
or-
quick. I've seen
think they're
gorillas
just
fight
kinda-
each other. They're
It's just
quick.
straight brute. Like
Yeah.
they do the baby kicks
Clotheslining
to beat up
everybody.
one. Yeah. Hit them
Yeah.
with that.
Yeah.
You know how many
Okay,
he's
but
gonna walk
okay.
through? Bam,
Another
bam,
thing to
bam.
think about. Another thing to think about when you think about a gorilla's power, right? Those numbers that he's saying, that power is driven from like a full body movement, right? Okay, if you have 4 dudes on each limb, 16 men, can he generate the same amount of power? No,
I think he can.
I don't think he can.
But what if he's doing that while someone's also like trying to gouge his eyes or something?
What if somebody rips his testicles off? Like,
Stick a finger in his
You gotta
ass
fight
or something.
dirty.
I saw that. Someone said put his finger in that.
That's disgusting. You gotta fight dirty. Like honestly, maybe the
God.
dick is the first thing you go for.
Exactly.
If
love
you
that's how
rip
you go for
a
it.
gorilla's dick off and he bleeds out, you win. there's no, what is it? There's no shame in winning. Would you?
So that's how you beat the gorilla?
I'm not saying that's how I beat him.
That's your strategy. Dick first.
Have you seen the,
Possibly.
the person who has the strategy of like, don't worry, guys, I'll go in there a day early and I'll just kind of get all buddy with the gorilla, with the ending being I'm gonna suck him off.
What?
Somebody said gorillas are ticklish. Just go in there and
I
tickle
have
them.
not seen that theory, but he's on to something.
Oh my god!
Oh my God.
He doesn't. I can't even finish that.
Nah, man, there's no way 100.
You guys
men
are
can
so
take that.
dumb.
The gorilla.
I gotta shut this window. It's cold.
run through 100.
You're a liar if you tell me that you wouldn't rip a gorilla's dick off to survive.
No.
To survive. It's that or die.
I wouldn't get a chance to get to get.
But
to
I'm
the
saying
dick.
if that was an option.
You know how quick the gorilla's gonna. I'm
Everybody's
slow.
dangling off the arms
Yeah,
and the
and
legs.
you just have to go in there and stroke him once.
His neck, his.
Am I
they got
stroking him or
on
am I
the edge
ripping
of
it?
consciousness with the chokehold.
Whatever you
All
want.
they had left to do, all you had to do was go in there, twist, and like pull or something.
What is it? Old dick twist.
Twist his dick.
Twist his dick. Isn't that a viral video?
Yeah,
You telling me you wouldn't be able to do that?
I don't think I can.
So what
I don't think
if
I
your
could.
brothers were the ones holding his limbs and we're holding on for dear life and you just need to rip that thing off and you're just like, I can't do it, guys.
No, I'm gonna try.
Oh, okay. I was like, we
don't-
all die.
I won't succeed.
We all have his arms and legs. You're fine.
I think he would just like chest bump me or some shit. It's a gorilla, bro. They are so big
And strong.
and strong. Like, you could try to hold his arm down. All he's gonna do is move his arm. You're gonna fucking fly 20 feet in the
I mean,
air.
I just think 100 men tactfully can do it.
I think so too. With any strategy.
Maybe like
with any strategy.
with like in waves would have to be in waves. You
you
have
think-
to tire him out.
Do you think me, you, Adrian, and Lindsay could take Brian Shaw
In what?
in a fight?
Just a boxing fight?
Just there's no rules.
Well, you
just
might
have
as
to
well
win.
just
Us
take me
four?
out of
Yeah,
that.
then it's three. It's 3-on-1.
Do you know who Brian Shaw's?
No, but now I
Former-
feel confident with you because I know you're going dick first. So we have a good chance if you go
Former-
dick first.
Well,
Former-
one of you grabs a dick, one of you grabs one titty, and the other grabs another titty.
So former
twisters with the dick twister. Here.
former world's
Yeah.
strongest man. He is 460 pounds. He's 6'8". He bench presses over 500 pounds, deadlifts over 1,000, and squats over 1,000.
That's it.
Massive.
Not a gorilla.
They're not a gorilla.
He's not a gorilla.
I think we have a chance.
Yeah, he's not a gorilla.
Yeah,
Cardio.
Like I said, if
the
stick
kicker
with
is
your theory?
we got shitty cardio too.
yeah,
We have terrible cardio.
yeah. The average American against a gorilla.
We're not sending the average people. We're sending killers.
Not even the fucking
100
Avengers,
of our
dude.
best killers.
No,
Still no?
No. Gorilla wins.
I really don't think that gorilla wins. If there, like I said, if there's any strategy involved, I think the 100 men win. Even if that's one man left standing at the end.
That gorilla's gonna take that one man and rip
I guess the
fucking
only
head
thing
off.
that I don't know that none of us know is, and this would prove your point if it's true. How quickly can he dispatch the men? Because if he can,
We can all go at once.
No.
That's how the simulation was.
no, I know that, but I'm saying how fast can a gorilla kill a man?
'Cause I guess that's assuming one hit kills you. I don't
Right,
know if that's possible.
one hit
Yeah.
doesn't kill anybody.
I don't think
I
it
mean,
would.
maybe if it's like a straight punch to the temple or something, and then
don't
you
think-
fall back and hit your head on the
I
ground.
don't think gorillas got hands like that.
I don't think so either.
I just think they're going to be like.
But I'm saying if a gorilla can, like, you run at a gorilla and just one whack, you're dead. Maybe.
To be fair, I do want to share a small detail that might sway. I've heard stories of chimpanzees grabbing like people's faces and like ripping
them off.
their faces
Yeah.
off.
I've
That's a
heard stories of
chimpanzee.
chimpanzee ripping arms off.
That's a
chimpanzee.
chimpanzee. Bro.
Yeah.
Like that's not a fucking gorilla.
So
You gotta take in the fear factor.
That's
dude.
one person against
But-
one chimp.
No, but the fear factor. You see, I don't care what you are. You see a gorilla rip a man in half and start beating people with somebody's legs and he's blood everywhere.
Yeah.
Are you still hesitant?
Yeah.
You still gonna run in there?
I'm going in, dude.
if you think
God.
any of us are going in there sober, you're crazy.
Right.
We are going to be like,
If the 100 men are on meth.
I hope you guys are on like
Oh, yeah.
PCP.
Yeah,
like
it would
your
have to be.
fucking superhuman
It would have
strength
to be.
or
It would
something.
have to
like,
be.
Yeah.
maybe a good wave. Maybe another wave would be PCP.
The PCP and the meth
Yeah.
heads.
PCP wave.
maybe they go first.
The shit that Hitler was on during the Olympics. You seen that video?
Meth. He was
Yeah.
on
When
meth.
Hitler, he was all methed out.
Doesn't they meth out their soldiers too, like
Yeah.
to get them like ready for war?
There was a pharmaceutical they gave them that they actually prescribed to the soldiers that was just meth.
Meth?
Yeah, and they methed them out before.
a lot of wrinkles there.
I think we could do
All
it.
right.
I think so too.
So
well, with
with
that said, let's take a
Mother's Day
time out.
coming up, I figured since we have 3 mama's boys here, we would talk about your moms.
Proud.
So I kind of want you guys to like go around and like introduce your mom a little bit. Tell us, a little bit about your mom. Where's she from? Background about your mom. So
This is gonna suck.
Well,
So my mother's name is Mary. She was born here. My grandfather, her dad is from Quito, Ecuador. Quito's the capital of Ecuador, and then her mother is from Jalisco, Guadalajara, and so we're pretty much Mexican. She says that there is Peruvian and Cherokee Indian and maybe some French. I don't know. I've never done like a 23andMe, but she was born here. My mom has been, she has been the epitome of dedication and support my entire life. I've gone through plenty of mistakes that she was there for every time. I've made mistakes.
okay, well, we're not getting that far yet.
Oh, sorry.
I just wanted you to introduce your mom.
Oh
Her
yeah, that's my
name's-
mom.
Yeah, her name's Mary. We'll show a picture of Mare Bear.
She's OG.
Yeah,
Bear.
she's cool.
Love Mary Bear.
She's great. Mikhail?
yeah. So my mom, her name is Sandra. She was born here in the U.S. Are we doing this because they're Mexican?
No.
We're telling where they're from.
No.
Okay. Well, she's born here, grew up here.
You
in
can
San
say she's
Diego,
from
Chula
San
Vista.
Diego. Like,
Yeah. And she went to Chula High.
Spartan.
Spartan. Single mom. Worked at the Disney store for the majority of my life. That's why I have a big nostalgic, nice feelings about Disney as a whole. And I'd say I get all my hard work and all those, I guess,
the drive.
and just kind of what stands out in my head is she would always just tell me to shut up and do it. So in my head, a lot of times I just tell myself to shut up and do it, which got me through a lot in life. And that's
Cool.
that's kind of a quick summary of her.
My mom's name was Linda. She was from here, from San Diego. Parents were from Spain. She went to Sweetwater High.
Cool.
And
Both parents were from Spain.
yeah. Oh no, her dad was from Mexico, somewhere in Mexico, but her mom was from Spain, Madrid. From San Diego.
That's where your red hair comes from.
No, it comes from my birth mom's side.
Oh.
There's like Irish in the family.
Vampires.
Okay.
Yeah, probably
I knew
vampires.
it.
Yeah. I mean, I can. Yeah.
Quick summary, right?
Quick summary. Yeah, she's from San Diego, born and raised out here. Went to live in National City, Logan. Went to Sweetwater High. Had kids young. Got married. Didn't work out. Got married again. Didn't work out. And growing up, it was just me and my mom.
Cool.
So
Yeah.
the ultimate just single parent.
Cool. So we're gonna kind of talk about you guys kind of already went into it. Some of your mom's like best traits. Talked about drive and dedication and support. And so you also said like some of the biggest lessons that you've learned from your mom. So I guess like we want to talk about things like that. Like we all know that my moms are, for the most part, at least in our moms have been very supportive of all of us. So I'm lucky enough. I have 2 moms. I have my mom, and then I have a bonus mom, my stepmom. Lenice is my mom. Denise is my stepmom. Hope you can remember that. But yeah.
What's the summary about you too then?
Yeah. That's what
No, I mean you being a mom.
Oh yeah. I'm also a mom. As you know, I have 2 sons. So, but yeah, so just kind of both of my mom was actually born in Honolulu. She was a Navy kid. And my stepmom was born in Kansas, and then moved out here to San Diego in high school. So, but yeah, so those are my 2 moms. I'm from San Diego. You guys know that.
But you're Polish descent?
Oh yeah, I am half Polish. My dad is 100%. My mom's side is English, Scottish, Swiss, I guess. But yeah, just white people over here.
The ultimate whites collided.
Yeah.
Ultimate whites.
So,
All the supreme races.
yeah. So what are some of the things that, like, some of the best memories that you have with your mom, some of the best things that she taught you, some of her best traits, just really show love and appreciation to your moms and, letting your mom know about the best parts of her. So, yeah. If anybody wants to start.
You said traits, memories, and what else?
Traits, memories. If there's any like stories that you have, like some of your best stories, the biggest lessons that you've learned from your mom.
Okay.
Yeah. What kind of legacy you'd like to leave in honor of your mom, things like that.
Okay.
If anybody wants to share.
So for me, there's a lot of memories. I think my mom has been the what is the word I'm looking for? She's been so consistent her entire life. You hear people talk about unconditional love, and you're like, oh, when you love somebody unconditionally, you accept them for who they are. You are always there to support them. And I honestly, like, so I'm single right now. I want a family. I want to be married. I want kids. And I don't know what unconditional love looks like in terms of me giving it to somebody right now and what it would be like for me giving it to my children, but I can see it through her, because my mom has always been a single mom. I've said this before, but my real father, he left us when I was 7 months old. So I don't even know what he looks like. I've never seen a picture of my real dad. I don't know where he's at. I don't even know if he's alive. He left when we were 7 months old. And my mom has pretty much been on her own since then. She's had help from family. Like my grandmother was a big, big part in my development. Also uncles. Fun fact, my mom is one of 5 siblings and she's the middle of 2 older brothers and 2 younger brothers. So she grew up pretty tough. She used to play flag football with my uncles, and she cracked one of my uncle's ribs because one of my uncles said, I'm going to run this play. Your only job is to block my brother so that he can't get to my other brother. And he's like, whatever you do, don't let him through. So she took that and she tackled the shit out of one of my uncles and broke his rib. So she's always been really tough because she grew up with all boys. But I've been through so much in my life, and no matter what happens, I know that I can always go to her and she will, even when I make stupid mistakes, really big mistakes.
Yeah.
She's never turned me away.
Yeah.
She's always been there to support me, to love me unconditionally, to help me through things. My mom has never been the type of person that like gives profound advice. That's just not who she is. I got that from other people in my life, like my uncles.
Bust on the drapes.
Yeah, that's not very profound, but that was a form of advice.
Profound to me.
Yeah. So, and there's nothing, I'm not saying anything bad about my mom. That's just not the type of person she is. She showed you through her action.
Right. She let you figure it out yourself.
Yeah.
And that was the lesson.
100%.
Was figuring it out yourself.
And to be a single mom, there was times where she was working multiple jobs. She put me through a private Christian school all the way to 8th grade. That was not cheap because she thought that would be the best opportunity for me to have a better education that would provide better opportunities down the road for me. which I think it did. But she did all that. I mean, like when I think about my mom, I think of somebody who was completely selfless.
Mm-hmm.
She put me before her every single time. Mm-hmm. And I don't even have kids, and I know that must be extremely hard. You guys are all parents. So to put your children before you every time, I know that takes a huge amount of sacrifice. She did that every time. And to me, like the consistency is unparalleled. And a funny story that I have about my mom, I don't know if I should share this, but I'm going to share it. When I was younger, a memory that sticks out, I was a little kid. I didn't know what bras were. And so, yes, I didn't know what bras were. So my mom would get home from work after working a really long day to obviously support us. And she would change. And sometimes she would like leave a bra on the floor. I had no idea what bras were. I was little. I was a little kid. I thought I'd seen on TV people jumping out of airplanes and doing parachutes. So I thought that it was like a parachute. So I used to pick up her bra and put it around my
backwards. Put it on you backwards.
So it's on my back and around my shoulders. And I would get on her bed because she had a lifted bed, and I would jump off the bed and like, woo, like try to pretend like I was parachuting down. Obviously it didn't do anything. I just fell straight on the ground. And she used to always like tell me in Spanish, like, take that shit off, stupid. Put that in the dirty laundry. That's my bra. And I didn't know what that was, but I don't know why that's a funny memory that sticks in my head.
It's hilarious.
And then another funny memory is, I don't think I've ever seen a picture of you like as a little kid. Oh, I have a picture on my phone. I just crazy.
A thought that I just had.
I have a bowl haircut. It's wild.
That's fire.
Yeah. No, I straight up have I used to go, the barber would put a bowl over my head and just scissors all the way around.
I think every Mexican, like we've all.
Yeah, I had a bowl. It was a mad bowl haircut.
Yeah, I had the bowl cut.
My hair couldn't do that.
Another funny story is that
jealous.
we were living in a single bedroom apartment. Again, my mom didn't always have like the most money, but she always did what she needed to do to provide for me. And so I would sleep in the living room. So she had her room. I'd slept in the living room. I slept on a futon couch. So it was a couch during the day, and at night we'd pull it out to a bed. That's where I slept. And there was one night where I woke up and I swore that I walked to the bathroom and then whipped it out and peed. I did not walk to the bathroom. I walked 2 steps to the left and pissed all over our dining room table. And so my mom wakes up because
you weren't drunk.
No, I was a little kid.
I know.
I was like, maybe I was.
So good at it.
So my mom wakes up because she hears like liquid, like splashing. She's like, what the hell is that? She goes in the living room. She yells, Saul, what are you doing? And I'm half asleep.
Yeah.
I finish peeing all over the table.
Yeah.
It's dripping off the table now onto the carpet, and I get right back into my futon and go back to bed. She has to clean it up.
Like a gangster.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess you could say like a gangster. Yeah, so that was a funny memory that sticks out too.
Nice.
But yeah.
Mara Bear, she's the best.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's a sweet lady.
Yeah, super sweet.
Yeah.
She's awesome.
I guess summarize my mom, I guess, as a whole, as hardworking, but for me, I did see a lot of that, and I know like every time a lot of people would describe my mom, it was always described as like very tough, but to me, as tough as she was, I never really saw her like just tough all the time, you know. She definitely made it a point to be very soft with us the majority of the time. Obviously, she had to do the dad role too. So whenever we needed that ass whooping, she definitely was more than ready to do that. I remember a bunch of times where we would either be, I don't know, there was this thing that we could never like cross the street and go hang out with certain kids and do this and that. And there was definitely a bunch of times where we would end up going into people's houses and she'd find out about it and then she'd come home and fucking like get the belt, whatever. But a lot of my memories with her, like kind of how I mentioned, are her always taking us to Disneyland or to the movies, or like anytime we went to the store, she always had a couple bucks to get us something. A lot like how my kids are now. Like my kids are I feel like the exact same way that me and my little brother were. Every time we went to a damn store, they felt like they had to walk out with the smallest, at least something, little toy. And I'm definitely not like my mom in that, and I definitely like tell them no like all the time. And I just remember my mom always like, all right, fine. And you know, it learning how, I guess, tough she was dealing with money the whole time, and me realizing that she always like got us these little things even though she didn't have it. Little stuff like that stands out to me, and kind of shows like she also, you know, had this selfless putting her kids before her responsibilities, because me as an adult, I'm pretty much like, no, dude, we got bills. You don't need another toy. Whereas my mom was just like, go ahead, get your little toy wrestlers that I would like to grab or whatever. And yeah, I mean, I guess I know I can always talk to her about any little, you know, thing I got going on, any sort of issue, any sort of like things in life that I have going on, especially the podcast. She listens to the podcast a lot. She texts me a lot on the side, and she'll just kind of give me some like pointers. Like the other day, she texted me and she says, you should probably Google or learn about cadence. And I'm like, cadence? What's that have to do with this? Like, yeah, you should probably look into cadence, and like that would probably help you a lot on the podcast. And I guess she was trying to say like I should essentially I need to practice my speaking, and speaking in a way that's a lot more, I guess, easier to listen to. And I told her, I was just like, that's definitely something that's going to take time for me to do, especially like juggling the things that I'm doing as I'm speaking. I'm also like being mindful of like the equipment, making sure no cameras are getting turned off while we're talking, the audio is being recorded. The sound is staying clean. We've had a couple times where our audio's kind of gotten weird, but so it could be distracting. So yeah, sometimes my cadence is weird. Sometimes I say a little bit more than I should or whatever. And honestly, I don't know how much this is ever going to change, but it just to me shows how much she cares, and she's still like tapping in on what I'm doing. And I love seeing how she is with my kids. She's definitely like super. My kids, their favorite person in the world. No offense to anybody. Hopefully they don't take it, but is my mom. They ask for Tata or whatever any chance they get.
Gosh, I ask Elias, oh, what did you dream about last night? And he goes, Sandra. He loves Sandra. Like, yeah.
So I mean, and I know like the way that I mind you, she worked a lot, so she didn't have as much time to spend with us as she probably could, or as
she does with the boys,
with the kids, especially because she used to live with us and they were in the same house. They spent all the time in her room, and
now she's retired, and
so she's able to give them the amount of love on a regular basis that she just was taken away from with responsibilities and all that. But relatively speaking, I want to say our family as a whole is pretty small. And she was always like kind of the center, I feel, because a lot of our family in Mexico really depended on her with all kinds of stuff. When there were times that they didn't have presents for Christmas, not only did she figure out ways to get us whatever we needed or wanted, she was also
helping to get them,
bringing presents for them. So after we had our Christmas Eve presents, we always were going to Mexico to hang out with our cousins, and she always brought the presents, you know. And as a kid, it's whatever, right? But as an adult, I'm like, I don't know how the fuck you were able to consistently provide, not just for us, but even like be that consistent support for them too. And it shows, because a lot of them still reach out to her to this day as adults. So I don't know. I got a ton of memories. I don't know if I have enough time to go like through everything, but she's definitely my everything. I get my personality basically from her. I could be a little bit direct or whatever, come off. A lot of it's just kind of how she was, you know?
Yeah.
Being single, she had to be tough. And I kind of took on just a lot of that as like, as an adult, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, I owe everything to her. So there's not enough nice things I can say about my mom.
For sure.
Yeah, I love her to death. So yeah, I know you're listening, Mom. Thank you. Happy Mother's Day. By the time this comes out, it'll be post Mother's Day. But yeah, I love you. Thank you.
Yeah. Cool. Do you want to share about your mom?
Yeah. I don't know where to start.
You want to
learned-
tell about maybe some of her
traits about your mom.
Yeah.
Man.
If
3
someone
words
doesn't-
that describe your
If
mom.
someone doesn't know your mom that well,
Yeah, I mean, most of my friends, you guys knew my mom.
in a nutshell, super nice.
Yeah.
Super nice and welcoming.
That's my mom.
Yeah.
She was the epitome of just, she loved everybody, even people that didn't deserve it. Like, she loved everybody to, like, I don't know. She was the person that if you needed a place to stay, like, you could come stay with her. My whole life, there was always people living with us. Like,
Yeah.
there was always a cousin that needed a place to stay, or somebody needed a place to stay. I got kicked out of my room so many times so other family members can come and live with us. But that was her, and she would always offer. She, I don't know if the word is selfless. Like, she always put everybody ahead of herself. Everybody else's needs were first. With me, she was, I mean, she didn't need to take me in. Like, so backstory on me, she legally adopted me when I was a couple of months old. My mom was my grandmother, but she was my mom. So, yeah, she took me in at a young age and raised me just by herself. It was just me and my mom. She was never dating or with anybody while I was in my childhood, or even until she passed. She was just focused on raising me. And what I learned from her was hard work. Never give up. There's always a way. Like, she had all the odds against her. Worked, I mean, similar stories to all of our moms. Single mom, worked multiple jobs, worked her ass off. Like, I remember Julian was like 2, maybe like 2 or 3, and just calling her and saying, "How the hell did you do this?" Like, you are like a superhero to me right now, because I'm learning that, like, I don't know. It's the thing when you have kids, like, you learn how to manage, your whole life changes. And you don't realize it till you go through it. And how she did it.
And you
like,
don't realize what your parents went through until you go through it too. Yeah.
And for her to, like, drop everything and just raise me at an age where she could have, her kids, her kids were already gone, like, ready to go. And that was supposed to be the time in her life where she, lived her life. And instead she took on a 6-month-old and raised him, raised me as her own. And
yeah,
I don't know. This is a tough conversation for me to have. Yeah. I want to give my mom her flowers and talk about how much of an amazing woman she was. And she's, I don't know. I can go on for time. I can say a bunch of things that are, I mean, I don't know if you knew her, if you were lucky enough to know her, she probably loved you. She loved all my friends. She loved baby cakes more than she loved me.
I mean, everybody loves baby cakes.
Yeah.
So.
But she loved my friends. I remember it was, I don't know, stories. I mean, in high school, like, it was, I don't know. I'm not good at this. I'm not good at talking about this stuff.
You did a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Well, she did a good job.
She did the best. She did the best that she could. And I saw that. And I know that she did the best that she could. She made mistakes.
I think we all do. I mean, as a mom myself, I know I make mistakes all the time, so.
But she was my everything. She was my protector. I was her baby. I was the only person that I ever known to have, like, my back and love me no matter what was her. And just, that's that parent love. That's that unconditional love that you were talking about. Is that is the only time I've ever seen it, and experienced that. And then I don't know. It's just I don't know. Um, yeah, I don't know. I want to say things that I don't know. It's hard. This is
It's a tough conversation.
it's a tough conversation just for me because she's
Yeah.
you know, she
So
passed
recent.
away. She passed away, and I'm dealing with grief to this day.
Which
I don't
is
know.
understandable. I think that you're valid in missing her, and you know,
I mean, I miss her every.
yeah.
She was my person. She had my back no matter what. She supported me in everything I did. I made so many mistakes as a kid. As a teenager, we would fight all the time, argue about the dumb things, and she would kick me out. And I would go to a friend's house, and then by the end of the night, she would call me and say, "Mijo, what time are you coming home?" Like it was never, no matter what she said, no matter what I did, it was always, I knew that I can count on my mom. That was my rock. That was my person. That was my only support system I had my entire life. And she did it alone. She did it. I could never replicate what she did. As much as I want to be the best dad in the world, I feel like I had the best mom in the world. I could never replicate it. She put nobody above me. She put nobody above, herself. Like everybody came first. So many people, I don't want to say took advantage. I feel like there was family members that took advantage of my mom. It's just because of how nice and how open she was to everybody. I mean, that just goes into a whole nother thing. How some stuff I'm dealing with, but I don't know.
Do you have a good memory that you have of a good story that you want to?
I'm trying to structure this in a way, and I feel like I'm going and rambling, but I have like a million thoughts going through my head. If I have I have plenty of good memories. I mean, high school, she would always take me and babe. Our thing was every paycheck, we would go out to eat Panda Imperial. That's been our place since I celebrated my 6th grade graduation there, 8th grade graduation, high school graduation, 21st birthday. And then every time I'd pick her up to go eat, she would want to go to Panda Imperial. That's just our place. It's always been. That's why, and I remember in high school, she would be like, ask Baby Cakes if he wants to go, or ask Ricky if he wants to go. And then she would take us to go eat Panda Imperial. She would take us to a Dickie store. What
was it at Panda Imperial? Was it orange chicken, or was it what was her thing?
The shrimp, the coconut shrimp.
Love coconut shrimp.
Yeah, that shrimp. And then I remember times that she would take us to Dickie store and buy us Pro Clubs. It wasn't often.
Good old 2007.
Yeah, it wasn't every time she would take us to buy Pro Clubs, but we weren't poor, but we weren't we didn't have money. But she found a way to and that's the biggest takeaway I feel like I've taken away from her, is that I'm not balling like that, but I've tried not to tell Julian no. Maybe in times where I should say no, and I'm
right.
No, but I want him to have what he wants because he deserves it. He's a great kid. And I feel like I didn't always deserve it, but my mom would always, just like you, go into the store and hey, I want this, I want a wrestler. Yeah. She would be like, oh, okay. And she always found a way on Christmas. Even when we were I remember 2007, my mom got really sick. And she was in the hospital for a while, a couple of weeks. Lots wasn't working. We got kicked out of the apartment we were living in. This was 2006, and we were staying with my mom's friend in the trailer. It was me, my mom in a room in a small trailer with her friend and 2 daughters. And this was before we moved to the place on H Street. You guys been there? For a period of time, we lived in a trailer with my mom's friend, and it was rough. But Christmas time came around, and she still found a way to get me things, make it, got me things that I didn't even know I wanted, just give small gifts that it just meant a lot. Because I was starting to see she's struggling. This is not normal. I don't know. This is I feel like I'm rambling, but I'm trying to keep it together and not cry. So
Doing better than me.
Yeah.
You're doing better than me.
yeah, I got 2 years
you're
of
doing
2 years
good.
of practice of not crying.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Yeah, my mom was the sweetest lady in the world. Told the best stories. Half the stuff she would say was probably made up and exaggerated about everything, but was loved babies, loved anybody that loved dogs, any animal, anybody that had a baby with them. She would always want to hold the baby.
Dude, was he? You guys had Scrappy Coco, right?
Scrappy, yeah, we had ugly dogs, but yeah, we had Scrappy.
Scrappy Coco.
I thought that's what the dog's name was.
Scrappy Coco, rest in peace. I love that dog. I don't know, man. I like this opportunity to talk about her, but I'm struggling because I'm trying to keep it together.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, in a nutshell, I'm sure for a lot of people who don't know anything about your mom, gets a really good sense of the kind of person she was. You know, just in that little bit that you shared. You know,
she was.
And
she was
honor
amazing.
her,
Yeah.
you know, by like keeping.
it's impossible for all of
Yeah.
us to fully articulate how much our moms meant to us. Your stories makes me trigger about other memories that and I'm just like, shit, I forgot. But at the end of the day, like, I'm sure more and more stories will come out.
Yeah.
There's going to be more Mother's Days that we can talk about or more things that just come up. But I mean, it's crazy how similar a lot of our
Yeah.
stories are.
Sounds-
All of
yeah.
our moms had the hugest hearts.
Yeah.
I mean, I felt that with your mom and your mom. Anytime I was over at your guys' house or I would see them, just very warm, very warm, very, you could feel just genuine love.
That's
Huge hearts.
yeah. That was my mom. That's definitely your mom. Definitely Sandra. Like, she taught me how to make the carne asada. Like, the first time, one of the times here, she was like, she's like, Mijo, you need to learn how to do this, and she like told me the red wine and the garlic.
She doesn't even teach people that. She
taught me.
she keeps that recipe like
Quiet
to the vest.
Yeah,
She doesn't want anyone to know it, anyone to have it. So it's dope that she did that.
Did your mom teach you how to make guac?
yeah.
Dude,
Taught me how
shout
to
out
make
to your
guac.
mom.
She taught
That
me how
your
to
guac
make-
is fire.
She taught me how to make the guac. She taught me how to make mole. She taught me how to cook. I like to cook because of her.
Mole's good too.
I took all her recipes. She taught me how to live, man. Like, and it's not, she did some things that like were not ideal, you know, for if you're trying to build credit and stuff like that. She took, you know, some things that were not the way you're supposed to go, but she did what she needed to do to survive.
I remember a lot of layaway visits.
A lot of layaway
You guys
visits.
moms do layaway?
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember the one that stands out to me the most is her doing the Nintendo 64.
Yeah.
I swear we did so many visits to Big Kmart. I don't know if you guys remember Big Kmart.
Yeah, Big K.
And standing in that long ass line to do some fucking layaway
Yeah.
payments of just like all kinds of just from the beginning of the year when we're supposed to get these presents for Christmas. And I'm just like, fuck, dude. Like,
My mom's thing was always,
just a couple bucks here and there.
it was always not this check, but next check. My whole life, I always remember hearing that. Like, Mom, I want this. I want a Jordan jersey. She's like, all right, not this check, but the next check.
Right.
Never happened. But like, as I got older and I realized, because, and then I started working and then my kids started wanting things. I'm like, well, I don't have the money right now,
Yeah.
but maybe I'll do it next check.
It's not a no.
Yeah, it's not a no. I'll get it later. And then, I don't know, just a lot of little things from her. But the biggest thing I learned from her was just be nice to everybody. Like, everybody's going through shit. Like, if you can help somebody, help them. Never look down on people.
Yeah.
And I think I'm like that. I think I've taken that from her. I think I'm overall, if you know me, I think I'm a friendly person. Yeah. I don't know what else.
Dope. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
She was the best. And for people that don't know, she passed away 2 years ago. November 14th.
Is this the second Mother's Day?
It will be.
Without her?
Yeah, it will be. Second one. Last year was okay. Me and my dad went to Penn Imperial. Took flowers. Took her picture and just had lunch. Didn't really speak. It was kind of a weird dinner, or weird lunch me and my dad had. He's dealing with it in his own way. He lost his dad right after his mom, so he's kind of dealing with some shit. But
Do either one of you cry in the orange chicken?
no, I think would add some flavor.
Little salt.
Little salt?
Yeah. It's rough, and I'm trying to hold it in right now, but it's rough. So
Yeah.
next topic.
Yeah.
I think the world needs more of what you said at the end right there. You said your mom, and I know your mom's the same way, and my mom's the same way. You said that your mom is nice to everybody.
Yeah.
She tries to always be nice, and she tries not to look down on people and judge people because of circumstances they're in or decisions they make. She tries to treat them like a human being. And like that, your mom did that with everybody she came across.
Yeah.
And if the world had more people like that, it truly would be a better place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
She was amazing. What about you? Your mom? Let's give you some flowers. You're an amazing mom.
Thanks. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, my mom's pretty cool. My mom is also that like very supportive, you know, no matter what I want to do, like she's you know, right there with me about it. My mom and I definitely like had it rough when I was younger. Really, again, my mom was really just like doing the best that she could, but now I think that we're like in a new phase of our relationship just because my mom was forced to make changes in regards to her health. So definitely a different person, maybe not in a bad way, but definitely taught me a lot in regards to taking care of yourself for your kids. But also my mom just really never like judged me at all, and same as you, just kind of like let me figure it out. And
From the stories you told, the ultimate,
Yeah.
like
the
super,
ultimate
like,
figure it out yourself kind of thing. Yeah.
Don't make me cry, Lindsay. God
I
damn.
know.
God damn it.
You know, when I was younger, I had to kind of figure it out a lot much earlier than I needed to, but I think my mom taught me a lot of like what I don't want, and that helped me like break the generational curses. Oh my god, I sound like a crazy, but like breaking those generational curses, and I know that it makes her proud to see me succeeding or doing better, I guess, than like she did on her own. So thanks, Mom.
What about Denise? Denise played a big
Right.
role with
Oh,
you
yeah.
too. Yeah, we can't leave her out.
Yeah, she's God.
How long has Denise been in your life?
God, since at least like kindergarten.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's your whole life pretty much.
Yeah. And Denise really like taught me like the patience and like really like giving your kids like the attention and like the love. And because that's where my mom lacked when I was younger, but my mom didn't know how to, you know, like she didn't. God. My mom didn't get that when she was growing up, so she didn't know how to do that to me, like with me. And so Denise came, and Denise was much more of that, like sitting down to have dinner every night and playing games with your kids and like giving you the attention. And they're balancing of each other, and I'm very lucky to have both of them because I learned very different values from both of them. But yeah,
And Denise's backstory: she has 4 of her own, 3 of her,
four
4 of her own.
Well, she had 5. She lost a child to SIDS.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah. And yeah, so like your mom, I have one older stepsister, but then I have 4 brothers that I'm like right in the middle of.
Jeez.
Yeah. So, but so yeah, Denise had 4 of her own kids and she accepted me in, and I have a stepbrother who's 2 weeks older than me, and very early on it was Denise. Oh, I have twins. Even though my stepbrother is half black and, you know, he's brown like Mikhail, but and then there's me, and I was the one white kid, you know. So, but yeah, those are my mom's. Really good stories. I mean, I'm lucky enough that both of my mom and my stepmom, like I lived with my dad and my stepmom when I was in high school, and my mom would come over and she would have family dinner at my dad's house with my step, you know, like, so I'm very lucky that all of my parents have been nice to each other and co-parenting, and yeah, I think that my stepmom situation is like the best that anybody could have asked for. So
Sleepovers all the time. with the
yeah,
kids.
yeah. And I mean, my mom, she's like, well, you know, most of the time you could say that your stepmom is a witch. My mom would say, well, my stepmom really is a witch because she was like a witch, Wiccan person.
Oh,
So,
yeah?
mhm.
Wait, what's the backstory with that?
So, oh my gosh, my family backstory is pretty crazy. So my grandpa was married to my mom's mom, my grandma. She divorced, and then my grandpa was married to a woman named Luana, and that's my mom's stepmom. And she was always a very interesting woman, but she ended up like going into like witch type stuff, you know, just
Wow.
Shrink heads.
no, it wasn't anything like that. Like, you know, like as a religion, whatever. But so my stepmom would say, oh, well, you can, you know, most of the time people say that their stepmom is a witch. Well, mine really is. So kind of funny, but
That's cool.
My grandfather's siblings and also parents, they're all from Quito, Ecuador, and they they practice the whatever it's called of shrinking heads.
Really?
Yeah, so they would take like
crazy.
skulls and they I think they would wrap them and put them in something, and then like over time they would get real small.
That's dope.
It would shrink heads.
That's pretty
interesting.
dope.
Yeah,
Yeah. Cool.
damn Ecuadorians.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
So yeah, just I guess some memories. I mean, Denise was, like I said, that like mom that just really did anything and everything that she could for us. She packed us, all of us, lunches every day, every night before she went to bed. She would have dinner for us. She would do the dishes. She would pack our lunches in the mornings. You know, everybody would get up. We would have our lunches already made. She was the mom that was taking us to the beach every Sunday during the summers. Like, she was the mom that was planning the summer vacations, you know, to take us to Big Bear or whatever. Like, she was definitely like the ultimate, like, big family mom. Stuff like memories with my mom. My mom was the mom that was like always kind of more like a friend. And at one point, my mom and I didn't, and my brother, we didn't have much. And we ended up one year with like furniture that people had given us, just like extra stuff. And our apartment was mostly empty. We didn't have like a dining room table or anything. Our couch was literally like the wicker porch, like furniture. But my mom still, like, all of my friends, it was still to go to my house because my mom was like the fun, like, loose one, you know, like she was the one that was like, all right, you're grounded, and then the next day, all right, like, do whatever you want. But we had like a water fight in our empty ass apartment, like her, me, and like 4 of my friends, just like the kitchen floor was so soaked. My friend was like on the water, like splashing through the water, like, I'm a beached whale. Like, it was pretty crazy. Like,
Was she really big?
no.
Oh, sorry.
No.
I'm joking. That was a joke.
No. But yeah, I mean, my mom was always just like the fun mom. My mom always wants just to, like, you know, everybody to have a good time, and yeah, good times with my mom.
Awesome.
Gigi.
Shout out Gigi.
Yeah.
Denise.
Shout out your moms.
Yeah.
Shout out all the mothers out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say we should shout out like the boys' wives aren't here, like Daniela.
Oh yeah, Daniela,
Valerie.
for sure.
All the wives.
Yeah.
All the wives, yeah.
Yeah, Daniela.
All the mothers who listen.
Yeah. Yeah.
Aaron. Val.
I don't know how Val put up with having me. and
That's what we were talking about.
Baby cakes and
He was like, how do you deal with us?
Yeah.
After the whatever conversation before the break. And then,
Salts.
yeah. And then I was like, no, how did Val deal with you guys for the past
Yeah.
25 years or
Valerie's
whatever?
put up
It's
with
been,
all of our shit.
yeah.
And it's been
I mean,
a lot.
so yeah. Love our moms, obviously, you know.
Thank you, all the moms.
Shout out the moms.
Thanks for listening to me cry. Yeah.
You want to, real quick before we end, you want to mention the whole spike in.
Oh yeah, thanks to all of our followers.
Oh, sure. Yeah,
We've hit over 700 followers, and we keep talking about doing something, and you guys just keep exceeding our expectations before.
I told
Yeah.
Mikhail that I just checked it 48 hours ago and we hit 3, and I thought that was a landmark.
Yeah.
And then he tells me this
Yeah.
morning he wakes up to
700.
we keep saying,
Yeah.
okay, we're gonna
Jeez.
when we hit however many, and it just, before we can even plan anything, it just you guys blow it out the water.
Yeah.
So
Thank you guys.
Yeah.
All the love, all the support. It does not go unnoticed. We're going to talk about every single achievement, milestone. When we hit 800, 900, 1,000.
We gotta do something for it though.
I think the 1,000 needs to be that.
I mean, we could be
giveaway.
at the rate that we just hit 700, 1,000 could be done overnight.
That's
So
fine. I want to give away as much as we can as soon as we can.
Right,
Because, I mean,
we've started experimenting with designs for shirts or hats or something. We want to get some merch out there.
yeah. For all the supporters to kind of wear and kind of show their support. Because, I don't know. I think we are, we resonate with a lot of people. We do have our goofy moments and our crazy stories, but
This episode wasn't one of those like crazy.
no, maybe not so much.
I mean, we did talk about
There's little
ripping
sprinkles.
gorillas.
There's sprinkles.
off.
There's sprinkles.
Oh my God.
We got to keep it lighthearted. That's just who we are. That's what we have going on in our lives, and we want to keep providing some value for everybody. You know, like we go through a lot, and we want to share that and talk about it so other people can kind of help navigate in their life. Maybe someone's gonna lose their parent. They were gonna remember that time that Adrian spoke about how he was dealing with it and how hard it was, and they're gonna remember that. Like things like that. Things like that stick. And I think those are things that we need to try to talk about as much as we can.
Right.
So I know it's hard and it's uncomfortable, and it's not easy putting on a podcast or sitting up here.
not easy
Opening your
talking.
wounds for other people to hear.
Yeah.
It's very hard.
Lights on, cameras
Yeah.
are on, and you're just expected to just go. It's not easy. So thank you guys as well. This is a big achievement for all of us. Hitting 700. It's in the grand scheme of things, it might not seem like a lot, but for us, I wanna make sure we kind of recognize and understand that not that many people out there have
Get
even
to this point. Yeah.
100. You know, just the amount of people that I want to say the amount of channels that have 1,000, less than 10%. So shout out to you guys showing up every 2 weeks, doing this, and learning this game
With us.
Yeah, together. So,
and of course, if there's any pointers or anything that you liked, anything that you disliked,
one
be
thing,
nice. But
one thing I don't want to forget to mention, Adrian kind of shared with us a little thing that we can start incorporating with future shows, episodes that are that involve you, the listener. So what I guess I'll let Adrian kind of break it down on what he wants to try to get people to do to kind of help us out.
I think it'd be pretty cool if we can provide a phone number for our listeners to call. And if you want to, we did the anonymous thing, which is pretty cool. But hey, if you want to say something to us, you want us to hear, you want to just
throw out a question.
You want us to know who it's coming from, and or you just want to talk some shit, or you just want to show love. We're going to put a phone number out there, and you leave a voicemail, and then we'll play it live on the pod and we'll react to it.
Yeah. So. I think it would be best if we get stuff that's kind of like, hey, I'm in the situation.
Yeah.
What would you guys do? Or and I think
we can provide our opinions or our recommendations.
Yeah.
Yeah. Could we? If anybody wants to go live with me before we record next time. I don't know if anybody wants to watch TikTok live, interact with us on TikTok live, get ready with us while we set up the pod.
Bring it.
Yeah.
We could always set it up here at the table while we're getting ready and take questions live.
Yeah.
Yeah, going live is eventually something we do want to do. It's just kind of one of those things where it's just kind of like, it's us on camera and us off camera.
So different.
It's very crazy. It can be.
I'd like to think I'm pretty similar.
Yeah. Well, I'm a little nervous, but I definitely want to do it. I still want to do it. So I think eventually our episodes will be live. So if you guys do want to watch us either as we're setting up, as the show goes on, and send us, questions on the fly, I think that'd be fun to start taking those too. So. Anyways, we got a lot of big plans and you guys are definitely included in those. Once we hit 1,000, we're definitely going to do a giveaway. We want to look into potentially doing a candle. I think that'd be super dope for someone to take home with them.
We could do it. That'd be easy.
We'll figure out
do a candle.
Which candle to do, but yeah, just a little bit of a thank you to all you guys that support us. We want to show love back.
Yeah.
So thank you guys.
Apparently India really hit us up this week.
Yeah.
On the followers. Shout out India.
One of our videos got really popular in India. Shout out to anybody in India that tunes in, checks us out, gives us a like, gives us a follow.
And for clarification, yes, Red Dot India.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's racist, you guys.
What? I respect those people.
It is all love.
Bomb curry.
All love. We love you guys. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.
Adios.